Alright, Freesia here on WACK. Now we all know that everything that we do online, it is being monitored. So I'm not talking about your parents or your friends, but I'm saying that Big Brother is watching along with the government and other powerful institutions. If you don't believe what I'm saying, then try this very simple experiment. Go to Google, over there type watch for sale, and then you can see a whole bunch of ads for watches that will pop up on your personal Facebook account as well as other websites that you surf. It's all because of those cookies that leave a little trail like Hansel and Gretel. Yes, Facebook by law is allowed to sell your information to a third party. Remember that I agree button that you pressed when you signed up for Facebook. So if you are a person like me that uses Firefox as your browser and then you've gone and you've tick marked all those boxes on various websites that will say do not share my information with anyone, even then I know that I am being monitored. Go to Google, type Naxal websites, and after some time the government will send you a message asking you to stop your search as you go from one website to another, slightly unknown pages. That message will definitely come. So what is that? That is telling you that you are being watched. Now, being watched is one thing. But what if I told you that the internet has become so powerful that it even now has the capability to change your mind, affect your decisions? There is a company that is being accused of making Trump win the elections and England choose Brexit. And that is exactly what we're going to explore on WACK today. This is the kind of internet nightmare that probably would exist in a Black Mirror episode. So imagine if I told you that there is a software that can know you even better than you know yourself, just on the basis on the number of likes you give on Facebook. 75 likes and it will know you better than even your friends know you. 150 likes, better than even your parents know you. And over 300 likes, even better than what your spouse knows about you. So how is this possible? What started off as a small project on the understanding of the human mind has probably led to a shifting and an altering of human consciousness at an individual as well as a mass level. In the 1980s, a psychological model that was called as the Big Five or Ocean was developed. It was studying how open you are to new experiences, how conscientious you are, how much of an extrovert you are, how agreeable and cooperative a person you are, and how neurotic you are. Based on all these answers, they were able to give you a relatively accurate assessment of a person. But during the 1980s, one of the biggest problems was how do you collect all this data? But then came the internet, followed by Facebook, Google, Amazon, and so many other sources. With millions of people out there putting their personal information on their Facebook pages, especially with those likes, that information can be collected and it can produce an understanding of human behavior, categorized on the basis of profiles, understanding affiliations, or even human behavior a little better. So up to this point, it's not so bad. I mean, hey, if Facebook can actually recognize my friends' faces and I don't have to go through the effort of tagging them in every picture, why not? I think it's pretty awesome. But if the internet is changing me from someone who does not have an issue with a particular religious group to someone who now hates them, then that is a problem. Just take this example. So if you went and typed the word Islamic group in your browser, then after Wikipedia and its definition, the next couple of pages were only to give you positive views versus telling you about suicide bombing as well as terrorism, then your opinion about those groups would be easily swayed, right? In this search, if all the websites that have positive news about Muslims were buried deep under and only those websites that have negative views are being amplified, then imagine what kind of effect it can have on people. And please, the internet is very capable of showing you both sides of the same story. So, in an Islamic country, Jews and the American world would also be shown in exactly the same horrible light. So why is this being done? We've all heard about divide and rule when we were in school. And people who are fearful, well, they just don't trust each other and they make better servants. At the beginning of this video, I told you about a software that is exactly capable of doing all of this. And this software belongs to a company that is called as Cambridge Analytica. According to data scientist Alexander Nix, they were able to profile the personality of almost every American in the United States of America. That's roughly 220 million people. And then, with a combination of the Ocean model, big data analytics, and specific ad targeting, they were able to divide this entire population into various profiles according to their behavior, orientation, and affiliations. So what do you do with all this data then? You could use it to manipulate and sway people's opinions. Take a look at the video that I have put in the description below. It's a talk by Mr. Alexander, and at precisely 3 minutes and 40 seconds, you will find out with an example how they did just that. While all this data can be used to show you only what it is that you like or only what it is that you follow, it can also be very cleverly used to change your mind. Hundreds and thousands of sleeping bots will start influencing a trending topic. And trending topics really influence the algorithm. The more traffic a particular site gets, the more links and the more clicks it starts occurring. And then slowly, the more authoritative that site will seem. Did the Cambridge Analytica pass all this information on just to manipulate the Trump vote and Brexit? Well, that we will never 100% know. But there are a whole lot of articles out there that claim that they did do so. If they managed to do this in England and America, then what do you think would happen in a country like India? Do you think that the greed and the need for power of all the people that are in power will ultimately take over? I also can't help not think that is the internet some kind of archaic, lawless place? There have to be some laws out there that will protect us. Currently, we have this many Facebook users, this many users on Twitter, and these are the number of people that actually have smartphones in India. That is a lot of data that is being consumed. In fact, we are even said to be the world's largest consumers of data. Whoever owns this data and controls it, I think that they will also own and control the future of India. In the EU, what they've gone and done is adopted the opt-out option, where instead of an opt-in which automatically takes place every time you subscribe to something, there is a default opt-out that you just need to click. We have a lot of websites that will give you massive pages of rules and regulations and one universal I agree button. Maybe here in India we could remove that because our rights to privacy laws, they're not very strong. Jio is already making its way into rural India, and what I'm afraid of that these people can be easily brainwashed and their opinions can be swayed. So what is it that you and me can do sitting at home? I guess the more questions we ask, the right questions that we ask, we can try and educate ourselves. And the more educated we are, we can also help everyone around us. My name is Felicia and I hope that you have liked this video. And if you have liked this video, then share it with everyone in your network. Help us increase the tribe, and I'm going to catch you again very, very soon. Ciao.